session we are discussing the concept.
మే బదులు దగ్గు టాబ్లెట్ ఇచ్చినప్పుడు వేసుకోక
నాకు తెలిసి 20 కంపెనీస్ ఉన్నాయి.
ఓకే
They will give some sort of money.
యా
Today I got 1,000.
యా
Day before yesterday I got 1,500.
ఓకే
So daily I will get some money.
some money. When will you give to
I will not give them. They will only give.
no when will you give the party to for us?
Party I will give.
Yeah, I'm just joking.
No.
Say, no. I'm not taking this. I'm asking.
Okay.
I want to listen your words. I want to listen your feeling. That's it.
I took bus today.
Yeah. I'm just joking. Don't
No,
take
no,
seriously. Yeah. Okay.
Hello.
Okay, sir.
Hello.
Anything else?
No. You are calling me.
No. Just I'm doing work. Yeah. Fine. Bye. What happened? Anything
Part
else?
of festival also you are working very hard.
Yeah, we are workaholic. Just కాలని ఏమంటాడు అడిగిన పార్టీని యా ఈజ్ రెడీ టు గివ్
మీరంతా
అయ్య గారు బాగున్నారా
బాగున్నా మీ అభిమానమే కొండంత రక్ష సంవత్సరం తర్వాత వచ్చిన
రక్షో రక్షిత రక్షిత అంతేనా వృక్షో రక్ష రక్షం రక్షం
Yes, fine. So good morning all.
అదే అదే నాకు ఒకటే వచ్చి శుక్లాం
My name is
విష్ణు
my
శశివర్ధన్
name is Swamy Naidu Sir. Your technologies Angular, React, JavaScript, CSS, SCSS. These technologies. So this is Angular session. So in this session we are discussing the concepts of Angular. Today demonstration class. Just I will give you some idea about this Angular. Like what is Angular and which type of applications you can develop using Angular. These concepts we are going to discuss now. Before that,
నీ పైసా వసూలు గురించి
we need to discuss client
నువ్వు నాకు
server
లెక్క ఎప్పుడు నేను లెక్కేసి
architecture.
కొంచెం గుర్తు తెచ్చుకో
Okay. So what is client and what is server?
నాన్నకు ఫోన్ చేసి
So
చెప్తాను
what is client shell script? Those things we need to
ఖర్చులు
discuss.
ఎక్కువైతున్నాయి మామా
So first of all,
నా దగ్గర లేదనుకుంటున్నావా ఏంటి మామ నెంబరు నోటర్ లేదు చూసి చెప్తావు
Madam.
సార్
to take any website.
Busy.
నో విసిట్
No. How I will speak to
So
the
every
customer.
website we have two
About
pages.
the company.
యా ఓకే
One is
My name is Durga.
designing. Next one,
యువర్ నేమ్ ఈజ్ ఉదయ్
My name is Uday.
యాక్చువల్లీ వి డోంట్ నో యువర్
My name
నేమ్
is Uday Kiran.
yes.
So good evening sir. Just I came here. Good evening madam.
So in designing phase,
లేదు కానీ
we are creating user
అక్క కప్ప చెప్పిన నేను నీతో పట్టుకో నిన్ను పట్టుకో
interfaces. Generally programmers are creating user interfaces.
So our company name is
So what are the technology they are using to create the user interfaces? HTML, CSS. In CSS, next level CSS, we have SCSS like that. So those technologies. And next one here, Bootstrap. Like that, these are the technologies they are using.
రియల్గా ఏం చేయాలి
And coding point of view. Yeah, actually we have two types of scriptings. One is client side, another one is server side scripts. Like that we have these two types of scriptings. Yes. So what is the first one? Client side script, and second one is server side script. It is clear.
నేనే పెడతాను
So client side script means it executes where inside the browser.
మంచి
In browser. Server side script is executing in server.
చెప్పండి సార్
Executes in server. Yes. So in development point of view, we have client-side scripts as well as server-side scripts. So for example, Facebook is there or Google is there. Any website if you take. When we are downloading that website, when we are accessing that website, then what is happening? So that website is downloading the client-side code into our system, into our browser, and in our browser it is executing. Is it clear? Yes. But server-side script is executing server, only result is downloading into our system. So, but client-side script point of view, the original code, when we are accessing the website, that original client-side script is downloading into our system, and there it is executing in our system with the help of browser, it is executing. So according to the execution locations, we are calling the scripts as client-side scripts and server-side scripts. That is the point of this. Is it clear? According to the execution location, we are calling these scripts as client-side and server-side scripts. Okay. Now, if you take what are the examples of the client-side scripts? So earlier, programmers used to work with JavaScript. These days, next-level technologies of JavaScript like Angular, React. Okay. So these are the technologies they are using. And actually server-side coding is not our responsibility. Anyhow, what are the scriptings we are using means programmers are using to work with server-side logics. Yeah, those are nothing but ASP, JSP, Solid, something we have, and Node.js. Like different types of technologies we have to work with server-side coding. And to work with the client-side coding, we have JavaScript or next level technologies of JavaScript like Angular, React, etc. Okay. Anyhow, every website contains these two types of scriptings. One is client-side script, another one is server-side script. As a UI developer, we are implementing the logics in client-side point of view, and server-side programmers, they are implementing the logics in server-side point of view. So what is the technology we are using now to implement the client-side code? So that is nothing but Angular. So what is Angular? Angular is nothing but so framework of JavaScript. Okay, Angular is framework of JavaScript. So it is providing the all features available in JavaScript. Additionally, more features it is providing. What are the additional features we have in this Angular compared to JavaScript? We will discuss. So first of all, you got some clarity in this point of I guess. So what is Angular? It is client-side script or server-side script. Is it client-side script or server-side script? It is purely client-side script. So client-side scripts are executed where? In client system with the help of browsers. So we are using browsers to open the websites like Internet Explorer, Mozilla Firefox, Google Chrome, like that these type of browsers we are using. Now, so every browser contains interpreters to execute the client-side logics. Is it clear? Every browser contains the interpreters to execute the client-side logics. That is the point of this. Okay? Yes. So if anybody in interviews, if anybody asks you the question, what is Angular? Simply you can say Angular is the framework of JavaScript. What is that? Angular is the framework of JavaScript. So it is client side. Okay. Yeah, JavaScript, Angular, all these considered client side scripts. Okay. For example, for Java technology, if you take Java technology, so to work with the Java, we have different frameworks. Okay, like Spring, Hibernate, like that we have these frameworks. Okay, frameworks simplifying the logics of the technology and providing more enhanced.
చూడు ఎంత క్యూట్గా ఉన్నాడు గిల్లడైతే బొమ్మలాగా ఉంటాడు లైక్ బొమ్మ మీన్స్ ఏదో ఒక డాల్ నడ పెట్టి ఫోటో తీసిన అయ్యో ఎందుకు ఇట్లా అవుతుంది
Framework, if we take framework is providing more enhanced features and it is one providing one structure to implement the logics. Okay, I will show you what the structure of Angular and what are the files we have, 3 different files, everything we'll discuss. Anyhow, to work with the client-side coding in web applications, we are using this Angular. Okay, not only Angular, we can use any one of the client-side scripts, but the popular one if you observe here, so Angular and React, these two technologies playing important role in this software industries. We have few more technologies to work in the client-side scheme.
పిల్లలు లేరు పిల్లలు
Those are nothing but Vue.js is there, Backbone.js, Vanilla.js, Knockout.js, and jQuery, like the different technologies we have. But right now, not right now, from past few years onwards, so companies working with these technologies, one is Angular, another one is React. These two technologies playing very important role in this client-side development
తినటం
point.
లేచి ఎంగిల్ చేతులు
Is it clear? Yes. So
వాళ్ళు ఇట్నే పెట్టింది
now,
వాళ్ళు కలిసే ఉంది అట్లే
which type of operations we can do with client-side scripts? So this question also
మేడం కూడా మా
frequently they're
పిల్లల్ని మా
asking
ఇంటికి
confused.
తెలుసు మేము వాళ్ళ
So
ఇంటికి తింటాం
I
పిల్లలు
told you client-side script is executing
అక్కడ కర్రీ
browser.
ఎక్కువైంది తిను
So
అన్నాడు.
what
వాళ్ళ
we
కర్రీ
can do
నేను చెప్తా
exactly
ముందు అడే
with this
ఇంతనే
client-side
పెట్టుకుంటారా
scripts?
అది
Those
మీ
points we
కర్రీ
need to
లేదు
discuss.
అంటాడు.
Before
వాళ్ళకి
that,
అమ్మో
any
కర్రీ.
questions you
అక్కడ
have
ఎట్లా
till now we
పెట్టుకో
discussed some
అంటాడు.
points. In
అట్లేదు.
these points you have any questions you can ask me. So you can ask me the questions by unmute your mic or type in the chat window.
నా గుండు నెట్లో చూద్దానే.
Yes. So what is client-side script and what is server-side script? That some idea you got? Yes or no? Yeah. Regarding that, you have any questions? Okay.
ఇదే
I
నాకు
guess no doubts. Fine.
అన్ని గుండ్లే అవి.
Now,
ఇప్పుడు
if
ఎంత
you take
పక్కకు
client-side, yeah, where we are in this client-side script, in which point of we are in this client-side scripts?
వాళ్ళ తమ్ముడు కూడా సేమ్
There are many reasons to use the client-side scripts. One is
వాళ్ళ తమ్ముడు గురించి చేయించుకోలేదు
to apply
చేయించుకున్నాడు. అన్నీ
dynamic
అవి మంచి.
functionalities on HTML controls. Yeah, the first point to work with this client-side script is to apply the dynamic functionalities on HTML controls. Yeah. By default, HTML elements. Okay. So here browser is providing some controls like text box, button, radio button. Like that, we have these controls. We can also call them as elements. Okay. So HTML elements we have. On these elements, you want to apply dynamic functionality. Then we are taking the support of
వాట్సాప్
client
వీడియో
side
పెట్టుకుని ఇందాక ఇటుగా చాట్ చేస్తా ఉంటే
So one example I will show you, then you will get more clear in this point of view. By default, all HTML elements are static. Okay, static and dynamic. What the meaning of the static and dynamic? Static means those properties will not change at runtime. Dynamic means those properties will change at runtime. That is the difference between static and dynamic. Once again, I am telling to you the difference between static and dynamic. Static means those properties are not changing at runtime. Dynamic, those properties are changing at runtime. So one simple example I will show you. I am creating one HTML file. The desktop demo.html.
వాళ్ళ తమ్ముడు ఏమే హాస్టల్లో బెస్ట్ ఫ్రెండ్ వీళ్ళకి
So this is demo.html.
వీళ్ళ తమ్ముడు
In this
వాడి
file-
birthday అవి బర్త్డే
Generally, HTML elements were placed inside the body tag. I will explain this structure of document, everything later. So for your more clarity in dynamic point of view, I am creating this program. So here in the desktop I have images. One is mango.jpg, next one is orange and apple.jpg. Like that I have different images. My requirement is I want to show these images here. So img source is equal to apple.jpg and width is equal to 100 pixels.
ఇంత తేడా ఉంటుంది.
Now this is one image which I am showing, that is apple.jpg. So this is image, it displays image control and two properties I have given. src is one property. src we are using to specify which image you want to display. And width also one property, width of that image control 100 pixels. Okay. So what is our file name? Demo.html. This is our file name. So that file we created on the desktop. Now here somewhere it is available. Now you can see this is the file which I created. So demo.html file I created here. Okay, now double click on this. it displays that Apple image. Now that file is loaded into browser, right? And it is executing now, executed. So this is runtime. My requirement is, so I want to change some properties of this control in runtime, like width I want to change, or SRC I want to change, or height I want to change. Is it possible? Not possible. By default, it is not possible to change the properties at runtime. Okay. So then with the support of JavaScript, it is possible. With the support of JavaScript. Means JavaScript we are using to change the properties of controls at runtime. Okay, which controls? Yeah, browser controls. Ultimate HTML element properties we can change at runtime with the help of JavaScript. That is the point of this. So I will show you how to change one example here. Nothing is there. My requirement is when I click on this image control, so that Apple I want to change as Mango. So simply I'm writing some code. So don't try to understand this code now. I will discuss all these things in Angular. Okay, now simply I am using one script, that is JavaScript. You can also use Angular in this point of view, but Angular, so you don't know about that Angular structure, everything. So when I discuss all these things, I will show you the same concept in Angular. So this is simple. What is the use of client-side script we are discussing? That's why I am using this one. So now on click is equal to, here I have given JavaScript. You can use JavaScript or Angular or React, just anything to change the property. So which property I am changing? SRC property. What the default SRC we are given? Apple. That I am changing as Mango when I click on the control. Now if you observe this, I refresh this browser, and if I click on this, now you can see at runtime we are able to change the source property. Not only source property, want to change width. Can we change or not? Yes, we can change that width property. Like that, any property of any HTML element we want to change at runtime, then we are taking the support of client-side scripts. These client-side scripts we can use either JavaScript or next level technologies of JavaScript like Angular or any other technology. But these days I told you now, Angular is having much opportunities and much openings. So many programmers are working with this Angular as well as React technologies. So that is the point, first point which we discussed here. So to apply dynamic functionalities and HTML controls. Second point, why we are using the client-side scripts for the second point, to validate input controls. So input controls are nothing but text box, button, a radio button. These are all controls we have. So you want to validate them. For example, if text box is empty, you want to present the error message, or password retype, password not matching. So then you want to display one error message. Then also we are taking the support of JavaScript. Okay. Next one here, to execute logics. Yeah. So here logics you want to execute, you want to implement any logics, then also we are taking the support of these client-side scripts here. So here I am asking you one question. You can implement the logics by using any one of these. Okay, coding I told you here, coding point of you can take the support of client-side script as well as server-side script. Okay, for example, one logic I want to write to work with some calculations, or I want to implement one calculator program. In that calculator program, user will click on the buttons like numbers 1, 2, 3, 4,
already
and
told,
after I click on the operations like plus minus, I want to show the result. That program I want to implement. So that is coding. That coding we can do by using either client-side script or server-side script. Now, which one is benefitful? Okay, that we need to discuss. For example, if we implement that coding client-side script, where it is executing client system or server machine. So if I implement that logic using client-side script, it is executing client system. Yes, with the help of browser. Initially, it is downloading into the browser. There it is executing. Means when user click on these buttons, okay, numbers after that plus minus these buttons, The code is running there only in
So we
the
don't
system.
get
That's
that.
why you can see the result very fast. In case if the code is
My good
implemented
name,
in server-side
Shravani.
script, for every operation, the request is coming to the server. There, that code is executing. After the
Your
response is
name?
coming
I
back to the
forgot. Just
client
now.
system,
Yeah.
then only it can see the result. That's why the result of the client-side script is very faster than server-side script results. So due to this reason only, most
Pujari.
of the logics were implemented with client-side scripts only.
Pawan.
So in websites, in which point of it they are using server-side scripts to connect with the database of server.
Oh, no,
So
he is
that
not
time they are
coming.
using server-side scripts, and to create the to
Nagu sir
handle
also
the
today no
sessions and
classes.
tokens.
Not yet.
In that point of they are using server-side scripts. So like that,
Yeah.
very few functionalities point of view are
Krishna
using
sir,
server-side
he
script,
already gave
and
this
most of the functionalities we are implementing with client-side
Krishna
scripts,
sir not
web
coming.
applications. Okay.
He just.
So that's why this
gave
client-side
this
coding is very, very important and popular
Leave.
these days. So why more recruitments we have in this client-side? What the reason behind that? Because in every website, around 60 to 70% is coding is client-side coding. That's the main reason. Okay. And next one, Ajax concept is there. I think some people may know about this Ajax. We will discuss this Ajax concept completely here. So we are using Ajax to send the request to server, okay, without submitting the web page. So API services you want to call, in that point of we are using Ajax. To work with this Ajax also, that client-side script we are using. So asynchronous JavaScript and XML. Okay, in that point of it
In
is
that
client-side scripts. Like that, this is the concept about client-side script. If anybody asks you, so how, what are the functionalities we can do with client-side script? Your answer would be these 4 steps. If you do that is enough. Okay, to apply dynamic functionalities and HTML controls and validation point of view, and to execute logics in browser, and to work with the Ajax like that. In that point of view, using client-side scripts. Old days they used to work with JavaScript, but in companies these days they are using next level technologies of JavaScript like Angular. So what is Angular? It is nothing but the framework of JavaScript. Framework means it is providing one structure for us to implement the logics. Actually, indirectly, if you observe here, so it is framework or TypeScript also we are calling. So generally, this is the main point now. Slowly, I'm moving into TypeScript. So here, now come to the main point. We have 2 things. One is Angular JS. Another one is Angular. Now we are discussing one important concept here. So Angular JS is there and Angular is there. So some people they are thinking both are same, but some people may have idea the difference between these two. Yeah, I will tell you what the difference between these two. I'm not discussing the functional differences between these two now. I will discuss that concept later. Just I'm discussing
ఉంటానా అని అంటుంది.
what are the major differences between these two. Yeah. So AngularJS means that is the very beginning version. They implemented this AngularJS packages by using JavaScript.
వెన్స్డే నేను చూస్తారా అంటున్నా.
Is it clear? So version 1.1, 1.0, 1.1, 1.2. Okay, these versions up to 1.6 we are calling as AngularJS. So here this AngularJS initially in 2010 they released it. Okay, so in this AngularJS the functionality they implemented with the help of JavaScript, but in 2016 they released it 2.0. Okay, in 2016 around October month I guess, I'm not sure about that. So they released 2.0. So that 2.0 package they implemented by using TypeScript. Is this clear? And that AngularJS, that name they removed this JS here. Simply from version 2 onwards we are calling it as Angular. So if you take 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up to current 15 version, okay, and 16 packages also released. These versions we are calling as Angular. So that's why here Angular JS is different, Angular is different. Angular JS is the framework of JavaScript. Angular is the framework of TypeScript. That's why here we need to place Angular JS. Is it clear? So Angular JS means very beginning version, that is 1.x series. So that series packages they implemented with JavaScript. From 2.0 onwards, they use a TypeScript in coding point of view. So those packages contains TypeScript here. So there are many advantages we have in TypeScript compared with JavaScript. That's why they use a TypeScript. So what are these advantages we will discuss in next level. So anyhow, this is the major difference between Angular JS and Angular. Now we have openings in companies with Angular. Okay, so every company is looking for Angular. So 11 version, 12, 13, 14, these versions they are looking. Yes, and in programming point of view, so Angular JS programming and Angular programming similarities are not there. Entirely different programming. So in Angular JS we are using JavaScript code. In Angular we are using TypeScript code. That is the main thing. And a concepts point of view, Angular JS, Angular supports common concepts. We have common concepts in this both Angular JS and Angular, like data binding concept is there. And next one, single page application routing concept is there. Services concept, like the common concepts. Additionally, Angular is providing more concepts compared with this Angular JS. That difference also will discuss. The differences between JavaScript and TypeScript will discuss, and what are the differences, functional differences between Angular JS and Angular. So those things also we will discuss here. Anyhow, here, so Angular JS old version we don't use now. In companies they are not using old version, they are using Angular. So what is Angular? It is the framework of TypeScript. Is it clear? So Angular packages are implemented with TypeScript, and Angular JS packages are implemented based on JavaScript. That is the concept. Is it clear? Now, who implemented this Angular JS and Angular, and who is maintaining these technologies? Yeah, first of all, here Visco Avery. He's one of the programmers in Google. Okay, he's one of the programmers in Google. He implemented Angular JS in here. Actually, in 2009 only they developed, but officially that open source they released that library to outside in 2010. So in this development, initially Mr. Howard is the main role, and Adam Abrams is also one of the other programmers in Google. So these two persons involved and implemented this one, but major role is Mr. Howard only. In 2010, he released this Angular JS. I told you initial version is Angular JS. It was Angular JS. After that, in 2016, I told you, so they released another version, that is Angular. From there, 2.0, that is 2.0. After that, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, till now, that is Angular only. So 2 to 3 or 3 to 4, 4 to 5, programming is same style of programming, but more concept they added from one version to another version. That is the update. Okay, but in programming style point of view, Angular JS and Angular means 1.x and 2.x. Okay, there are no similarities in programming point of view. But 2.0 to 3, 4, 5, 6, all these versions programming style is similar. Only the difference is more features are added from one version to another version. That is the concept. Okay. Yes. Now, who is maintaining this Angular? So Google Corporation. Okay. So Google Corporation is maintaining this Angular. And here TypeScript is also there. It is Angular is nothing but TypeScript coding internal. I told you these packages, they are providing many packages for us to work with the client side logics. So those packages they implemented with TypeScript. That TypeScript belongs to Microsoft Corporation. So means it is nothing but the combination of two big companies. One is Google, another one is Microsoft. Okay, so Angular belongs to Google, and inside this Angular, okay, the packages are implemented with TypeScript. That TypeScript belongs to Microsoft Corporation. So even you want to use the packages of this Angular, we should know the concepts of TypeScript. So you may have one doubt in your mind. What the prerequisite is to learn this Angular? Yes, that is nothing but TypeScript. So that's why initially I'm discussing the concepts of TypeScript. So once TypeScript is completed, then only I will start the discussion of Angular framework and programming in Angular. So initially around we are spending 15 to 20 days with this TypeScript. Okay, so that's why no need to learn this TypeScript separately. Here only I am discussing with you. So once the TypeScript is completed, then only I will start the Angular concepts here. Okay, so this is the basic history. Once again I am repeating the points here. So Angular, if you observe here, what is Angular? Okay, it is the framework of TypeScript. What is Angular JS? It is the framework of JavaScript. So what are the differences between these two? Yes, Angular JS 1.x series we are calling as Angular JS. It was introduced in 2010. And in Angular JS, the packages they developed that I told you, Mr. Havre and other team members, they developed by using JavaScript. In 2016, so Angular is released. That version is beginning version is 2.0. In this Angular, they use a TypeScript. So that's why we are taking the support of TypeScript here. And from 2 to till now, okay, they use a TypeScript only. And further versions also they are following with TypeScript. That is announcement from Google Corporation. And we have many more advantages in TypeScript compared with JavaScript, like object-oriented programming support, data type support. Like that, we have different types of advantages. I will discuss those concepts later. So anyhow, this is the brief idea about this Angular JS and Angular. Is it clear? So it is completely client-side script. To work with the client-side functionalities, we are using this Angular. Yes. So this is the history of this Angular. So now you can ask me doubts from your side. So you read what topics in TypeScript? Yeah, in TypeScript we are discussing the functions, okay, variables, so object-oriented programming concepts, ECMAScript standards we are discussing, like arrow functions and let these type of concepts we are discussing here, and the namespaces, how to work with the namespaces, how to get the bundles, packages, like that. Okay, so how to create configuration files in TypeScript, all these topics we discuss in TypeScript. Okay, so how to define the classes. Okay, and the next one here, how to work with this readiness concept, interfaces, mainly interfaces, because data models we are creating in Angular projects. Okay, in that point of we are taking the support of these interfaces. Okay, and npm packages, npm libraries, how to download the npm node package manager libraries. All these concepts we are discussing in TypeScript. Okay, yes. Real-time project and videos. You will get the everyday class videos as well as material, and day-wise programs also I will upload into the drive. You can download those programs. You can go through these programs. Okay. Yeah, here we are developing the mini application, not that real-time project. So real-time project is separate batch. Okay. So we are developing a mini application with these concepts. And moreover, you want to attend the real-time project, definitely you should have idea on these concepts. Okay, so here everything we are providing. So I'm not expecting questions in this point of view, what the course duration and will you provide the projects. I'm expecting the questions in technical point of view. Till now we discussed some points. Okay, so in these points any technical queries you have, so that I'm expecting. Anyhow, these all questions I will discuss later. So what is the duration of this course, and videos providing, okay, that information also I will provide you by end of the session. So till now we discussed some technical things here. Technical means the history point of view, everything. So there you have any doubts, you can ask. Yes. No. Who told you Java knowledge? Actually, there is no relationship between Java and JavaScript. no relationship between Java and Angular. So here Angular is the common client-side script for any server-side script. For example, in your project, server-side script you can use Java, okay, or I mean Java means JSP servlets like that, or PHP or Node.js or any other Python, okay, or any other technology. But front-end point of view, Angular is common for this all technologies. So here JavaScript, TypeScript knowledge is required for it. Okay, TypeScript knowledge is required. What is TypeScript? Superset of JavaScript. That's why at the time of TypeScript discussion, almost all JavaScript concepts will be covered. So that we will discuss. Is it clear? Yes.
ఏం చేస్తున్నారు చైతన్య?
So real-time project means first you should know about the Angular concepts. Okay, so then only you are eligible to join the real-time project. If already know the Angular concepts, then directly you can join with the real-time project. No need to come to this branch. But if you don't know the Angular concepts, then discussing the advantages of Angular compared with Java. So if you take both Angular and Angular JS, okay, so features we are discussing, common features which we have, and those features we are comparing with the JavaScript. Okay, so those features we are comparing with the JavaScript. So already I told you we have JavaScript to work with client-side script. Then why people are working with the next level technologies like Angular to work with client-side script? What are the features we have? So what are missing in JavaScript? Those things we are going to discuss. First of all, here supports data binding. Yes. So Angular supports Angular and Angular JS both if you take support the data binding
ట్యాబ్లెట్స్
concept.
తెచ్చుకున్నావా
So
last
what
time?
is data binding? Yes, I will tell you that. Okay.
మళ్ళీ తెచ్చుకోండి, మెడికల్ షాప్ ఉన్నాయి కదా.
For example, we have one variable. Variables you know. If you don't know, I will explain. So one variable we have. Variable name is serial number values.
ఎక్కడ పడేసుకున్నావు లాస్ట్ టైం
General
తెచ్చుకుని?
variables we are using to store some values. In our programming, we are storing some information in the form of variables. Now this is one variable. That variable value I want to print on the text box. Okay, this is one text box.
తెచ్చుకుంటే అయిపోతుంది కదా.
Now we
అట్లా
need to
పని
execute
వాళ్ళు
some
5
code.
నిమిషాలు పోయి తెచ్చుకుంటే మెడికల్ షాప్ లో టాబ్లెట్స్
Yes,
తెచ్చుకుంటే
here
అయిపోతుంది కదా.
just we are writing some code. So
Last time
in this
ఎక్కడికి
code,
వెళ్ళాను ఇంజెక్షన్
read this variable value, call that variable value and display on the
ఎవరు
text box.
తీసుకెళ్ళారు?
So generally in JavaScript, I think you may have idea on this document.get element ID, these type of functions are there. But when you come to the Angular, we are using data binding concept. Okay. Now here, generally what happens in JavaScript, so we are calling the
Ekkan
variable
idea
value
unda?
and displaying here. Now my requirement is if this variable is modified from other locations, okay,
Morning
for
నుంచి ఏం
example, 100 is
చేసినావు? ఖాళీగానే
changed as
ఉన్నావు కదా?
200.
వర్క్ ఏం
So
చేయలేదు
then
కదా?
immediately
ఖాళీగానే
those
ఉన్నావు కదా?
modifications
రైస్
should
తీసుకుని
affect
పోతే
directly affect on this text box.
అప్పటి నుంచి ఏం
But it is
చేసినావు?
not possible in
Tablets
JavaScript.
తెచ్చుకోకపోతే.
So if you want to get the modifications again, read that variable value with the help of this code and display here. Means this is somewhat hectic work to the programmer every time. So reading that variable and display on the HTML controls. Okay. So for that, this Angular is coming with one mechanism that is nothing but data.
స్నానాన్ని ఎత్తుతున్నావు లేదా అట్నే వండుతున్నావు?
What is data binding? Nothing is that data means variable that we are binding with one HTML control. What the benefit of this data binding here? Yes, whenever this variable value is modified, for example, it is updated to 200, then you need not execute any code here because you have given
విశేషం వేసుకోకుండా
this
కొంచెం
binding.
ఫేస్ వాష్
So that's
చేసుకుని
why
నీట్గా
here
బయటది
no
కానీ.
need to execute any code. Without execution of this code, those modifications directly we are getting in this text box control. Is it clear? So as a programmer, you need not worry about how to present the data. Okay, if it is updated or modified or deleted like that. So because data binding is taking care about all these things. Just your role is create a link between this variable and this control. So for that in Angular we are using ng model. These type of directives we are using here. I will discuss those directives later. So like that here, Angular supports this data binding concept. Very very important for us. Just I have given a overview idea. We will discuss programs about this. So two types of data bindings we have. one-way data binding and two-way data binding. So one-way means variable modifications will affect on the output control, that is HTML control. Two-way means reverse. For example, if you modify this HTML control in this text box, if you modify this value as 600, variable also is updating with that value. Like that, these two types of data binding support we have in this Angular. But if you take React.js, in the React.js, we have only one-way data binding support. For two-way, we are implementing the logics manually. But in Angular, both are available by default. Is it clear? Anyhow, this is the data binding concept. So I will show the programs based on this. So this is very important feature for us. It is not available in JavaScript. Okay. Second one, supports single page applications. Very big advantage of this Angular is nothing but single page application concept. Okay, so this is one of the main feature. So we can also call it as routing concept. Yes. Around we are spending 1 week days. Okay, minimum 7 sessions we are spending with this routing concept. In this point of view, we are discussing authentication, authorization, login, logout, these type of mechanisms we are using, router guards. Okay, and next one here in shopping cart applications, if you observe, if we click on one product, so that product related information page it is navigating and display the complete information about the product. Product. So how it is working, these type of concepts we are covering this routing concept. So that is called as single page application. So one simple overview I am giving you about this. Okay. So what is exactly this routing? For example, you are developing one website. That website will deploy on the server. Okay, I will show you how to deploy the Angular application server. So once you deploy the server, okay, so that website contains many components, means many pages like home, about us, contact us, like that. Okay, so for example, this is home page. Next one, this is about us, and next one, this is contact us. Like that, we have different pages. Now some X is trying to access to your website. Okay, you will type the URL address of your website. Then initially you are sending home page, means your server is sending home page into the system. So for remaining pages, as a programmer, you are providing hyperlinks like about, contact, like that. What are the other pages we have? Those hyperlinks. So what happens if you click on about us? One more request is going to the server, okay, and it is calling that about us page. If it is contact us hyperlink, the request is going to the server calling the contact us page. Means in this scenario, every time the request is going to the server. Okay, so for that it is taking some time. User need to wait to get the next page. So that's why they introduced one concept, that is single page application concept. You can also call it as routing concept. What the benefit of this routing concept? So if you take this routing concept, first of all these pages we are binding as one object, router object. Is it clear? Now if user is sending the first request, okay, if user is sending the first request, what is happening? All these object related components, what the components we have, pages, home, about us, contact us, all this information is downloaded in the client system. Like that is home, about us, contact us. Later if client click on the about us, then the data is coming from the system. Contact us, that data is coming from the system. This concept we are calling as single page application. Means only one browser, we need not refresh every time. Only that single open window, in that window only we can show the next page's information. So that time no need to send the request to the server. Means it reduces the network traffic on the server and increases the performance of our application. So this is about the single page application which is supporting here. So I told you that this concept is very important and we are spending many days for this concept. So at that time I will discuss how to work with the router boards and role based routing. So manager has to access some pages, administrator has to access, okay, all pages. These type of restrictions also we are providing here. Next one here supports many validation concepts. Yeah, very important. So here validation is the main role in this client script. So JavaScript we can use for validations, but in JavaScript logics we are writing manually. In React.js, if you observe here, it is providing template-driven forms and reactive forms. These type of concepts. Even AngularJS also same concepts are available here. So that's why here in this Angular we are taking the support of template-driven forms as well as reactive forms to validate the components. Is it clear? So Angular point of view, this validation is very flexible compared to React.
వాళ్ళు నలుగురు ఉన్నారు ఒక
Okay?
దేవుని దగ్గర దానికి
Because it
పోతే
is supporting direct data binding, that's why validation point of it is very flexible. So further we are taking the support of template driven forms as well as reactive forms. Okay, next one. So come to the next point. Angular supports many services. Yes, services we are using in functional point of view. So for example, if you take Ajax, to work with the Ajax in JavaScript, we need to write number of line statement. But when you are coming to this Angular, in this Angular we are using the HTTP client object. Okay, that client object is very simplified code, so we can directly connect with the external services or API services like that. So these services, many services are available in this Angular to work with the functional point of views. Okay, next one, supports. Okay, so many libraries, different types of libraries we have here. So if you take this Angular, so Angular is supporting some third-party libraries to display the data. For example, I want to display the data in grid view or table view or tree view, like the different views I want to present. So that's why in that point of view we can take the support of third-party libraries. Different types of library support we have in this point of view. Okay, so next one here, simple coding. So compared with the JavaScript, coding is very simple. In this Angular, it is very simple coding compared to JavaScript. Next one, Angular supports material design controls. Yeah, different types of material design controls we have in this Angular. So you want to display the material design text box or material design button or table, like that we have different types of material design controls. I will explain you how to work with this material design controls, all these things. So that support is available. Actually, generally we are using Bootstrap. In old days, programmers or designers used to work with Bootstrap to display the material design controls. But now Angular itself is providing many built-in material design controls. So normal controls, if you take HTML text box button, radio button, so these controls and material design controls, what the difference between these two? The look and feel is very great in this material design controls. Okay, and moreover some additional functionalities are available in this material design controls. That is the main advantage. Okay, next one here, we can create a responsive web pages. So responsive web pages means this functional, if you observe here, functionality of this Angular application is supporting, so desktop, I mean our laptops, next one mobiles, tabs, everywhere the functionality is similar. The functionality will not change. That type of responsiveness is there. So it is somewhat missing in JavaScript. So some functionalities will not work in the mobile if you use the JavaScript, and some functionalities not supporting the tab. But in Angular point of view, each and every functionality is supporting all these devices. That's why we need not worry about the devices which is using by user to open our web applications. Okay, so that is the main advantage. Okay, next one here, supports MVC and MVV patterns, including model view controller. So I will discuss with you later what is that MVC and MVV and controller based. Actually, these are design patterns. We are calling them as design patterns. These design patterns we are using for reusability of coding point of. In that point of view, we are using design patterns. So JavaScript is not supporting these type of patterns, but this Angular is supporting these patterns. Okay, so these are the major advantages which we have in this Angular. If we compare with the JavaScript, main advantage simple coding and different types of design patterns and predefined material design controls and predefined validation related libraries are there, and many filters are available, so we can call them as pipes. Okay, so filters are available here, so we can call them as pipes also. So for example, so number is there, that number you want to convert into dollar or euro or rupees, so for that we are using filters. Like that date formats conversion, so for that we are using filters. Like that many predefined filters are available here, we can also call them as pipes. Okay, in Angular JS we are calling as filters, in Angular we are calling as pipes. Like that data binding concept is there, single page application, so many features are available. And if you take routing concept, the routing, so many various concepts are available in this routing to work with that web applications, to develop the web applications. Okay, so we are discussing all these concepts. These are not possible in JavaScript, and to achieve these concepts we have to write many lines of coding, and moreover not possible to implement the data binding single page, these type of concepts. Okay, so for example you want to work with the Ajax, so in Angular we are using services now. In JavaScript we are taking support of different functions are available, APIs we are calling, so but coding is very huge coding. Okay, like that here, these are the main advantages we have in this Angular. That's why these companies they are preferring this Angular instead of JavaScript. But the prerequisite is to learn this Angular is TypeScript. Okay, so already I told you, first I am discussing the TypeScript concepts. So once it is clear, completed, then only we will go for the Angular concepts. Here total duration is minimum 60 days. Minimum course duration is 60 days. Sometimes it is extending to 10 more days like that. So don't expect course will be closed within 45 days. Okay, and the course content is available in that friend desk Durga software. Okay, you can ask them, they will send you the course content. We will cover all those topics which we have the content. And here we are discussing the project based concepts only, and mini project I will provide to you, not the real-time project. Real-time project means that is separate batch which takes 4 months like that. So here we are discussing mini project based on the concepts which we cover. And we are providing the video sessions, videos, everyday recorded videos I will upload into the Google Drive. So next one, everyday programs also I am uploading to the Google Drive along with the class notes. Okay, you can download those things. So this is the pattern which we are following here, and this is the basic information about the Angular which I provided in this demonstration class. I guess you people are comfort with these concepts, ideas, okay, and programming pointers slowly will start one by one. Okay, yes, fine. Now you can ask me the questions which you have. Yes. Yeah, so real-time project, to start the real-time project now, it is not yet decided. Okay, so that's why, so you need to wait for that, because just some plannings in project point of we are changing, so that's why it is not yet confirmed. Okay, yes. So just drop your number in that front office, they will inform you when the project is starting. Next.
Sir, I have a question. I don't have a previous knowledge of HTML and CSS much.
The
Is it okay?
HTML overview I will give you. Okay. as well as some concepts in CSS I will give you. But you people must concentrate on the coding point of view. You are UI developers, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So that's why here, so the TypeScript and Angular is very important for you. And HTML, CSS, I will give you some clarity. With that clarity, if you go with that some websites, you can easily understand the remaining concepts of CSS. Is it clear?
Yeah, okay.
Basic
Sir,
idea I will give you. That
sir,
HTML and CSS.
how we will get practical support?
So I told you, every day I am explaining the programs here itself. Those programs I will upload in the server. You can download and practice those programs. If you get any queries, you can ask me in the next class only itself. Okay.
Okay,
So I
thank you.
will give you much time for the doubts.
Yeah.
Okay. Next.
Will you provide any material regarding
Yeah, I
this?
told you I will provide you soft copy of programs as well as material notes also, along with video sessions.
Okay, thank you.
ఇవన్నీ లైవ్ సారా
Yeah, everyone is asking some material you are providing this. Yeah, we will discuss that integration with MongoDB at the time of server-side interaction with Node APIs. I will explain you how to call the Node APIs, and that time we are connecting the MongoDB, and I will explain you how to fetch the data and display the data in the Angular application and apply the CRUD operations. Okay, update, delete these functions, how to implement in Angular application. These all things we are discussing.
Okay. Sir, while integrating with API and MongoDB, will you discuss how to debug from Angular to API?
Yes. Not only that time, initially only by how to put the debugger and Google Chrome debugger, how to add, and in browser also debugger option is there. How to use the browser debugger. These three we are discussing.
Okay, thank
In Visual Studio Code, we can add the Google Chrome debugger,
Yeah.
or in our program we can use debugger, that keyword. Or in browser also, browser tools is the developer tools. There also debugger is available.
Yeah.
That is also a issue.
Yeah.
Next.
అక్క ఈ షీట్ తీసేసి
Yeah, I told you that point.
పోయింది కదా.
MongoDB integration. That time I will give you idea about MongoDB, and also some part of Node.js we are discussing here, because APIs I will discuss with Node.js. So that time I will discuss the Node.js concepts. If you know Java.NET, you can replace that Node.js with Java.NET technologies. Next.
Sir, actually, I know MongoDB and I know how to write the queries in MongoDB, and I know how to write the APIs in Node.js.
Okay.
But my goal is to become a mean stack developer. So
Yeah.
if I learn this Angular course, so I can become a mean stack developer, right?
Yeah, you know the mean means what the full form in MongoDB. M stands for MongoDB, E for Express.js, A for Angular, and N for Node.
Yes.
So Express is nothing but the framework of Node.js. Yes.
Yes.
So compulsory you want to become as mean stack, you require Angular, because already know Node and
Yes.
Express, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, MongoDB also. So definitely you can upload a resume as mean stack developer. So if you know only Angular, then you can upload a resume as UI developer.
So apart from this Angular course, I have to learn HTML, CSS. I mean UI design.
Yeah, that is very simple learning, na? So you can learn through some website
నాదే
references
పడుతుంది
also. Okay, for HTML and CSS. Got it. Anyhow, brief idea I will give you HTML CSS point of view here, because we are working with CSS interaction. Bootstrap also I will explain to you how to use that npm install Bootstrap, how to integrate the Bootstrap, how to use the Bootstrap classes. That time I will give you the idea about this HTML CSS Bootstrap. So with that idea remaining, you can enhance by going through any reference websites. We are discussing in material design point of view also, we are using CSS. styles, everything. Okay. Yes. Next. Any more queries? Yeah, clear. Sheikh, Azan, Shobha, Vinay, Ramesh, all of you got some idea what is this angular and what we can do
Yes.
future with this angular. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
I will also show you about the Figma files. From Figma files, how to create the applications with the live project only. Okay. So in which project I am working in my company. So that project I will show you. Okay. And that Figma files, how to create and how to write the logics, that TS files. Okay. TypeScript files. Those things also will discuss. Fine. In tomorrow's session, we will discuss the next topic about this. Okay. See next class. Every day our timings are so 8 to 9. Initial starting 4 classes or 5 classes. I will take up to 50 minutes like that. After that 1 hour session. 8 to 9 is our regular time. Okay.
Oh.
Yes.
Sir, every day we'll get a new link or same link?
No. So up to 4 classes or 5 classes, this demo link will run. After that, they will change another link that is permanent link to you.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, that link will generate only the people who pay the money. Okay.
Okay.
Fine. You can drop now. See you next class. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I'm sharing my screen. Let me know you can see or not.
Yes,
I
sir.
can say so.
See, in yesterday's the first class, it was first class. In the demo class, just I have given some idea about what is Angular, okay, and what we can do with this Angular. So those concepts we have discussed. Just 5 to 10 minutes brush up, okay. So Angular, you understand some points. Tell me what is Angular. It is framework. It is framework of TypeScript. Okay. So to implement dynamic web pages. So is it client-side script or server-side script?
Client side.
Client side script.
It is client-side. Yes, Angular is the framework of TypeScript. We are using this framework to implement the dynamic web applications. It is client-side script. So Angular JS is also there. What is Angular JS? So it is
JavaScript.
framework of JavaScript. So version 1.x series we are calling as Angular JS. From version 2 onwards, 2, 3, 4, 5, all these versions till now we are calling as Angular. Okay. In Angular JS, the packages they developed by using JavaScript technology. In Angular, those packages they developed by using TypeScript. Okay. So you want to work with Angular JS, you need to have idea on the JavaScript concepts. You want to work with Angular, you should know the TypeScript concepts. So that is the difference between these two. Okay, and few more differences we have. I will discuss those differences later. Anyhow, now in companies we have openings with Angular. In companies we have openings with this Angular. Okay, fine. Now, already I told you client side scripts we are using in which point of yeah. So here there are so many reasons to use the client side scripts. One is to apply dynamic functionalities on HTML controls. Okay, yes. So all HTML controls are static controls. Those controls you want to convert as dynamic controls. Then we are taking the support of client side scripts. And the next one
OCJ కాకుండా
to validate
మళ్ళీ వేరే అడుగుతున్నారు కదా OCJP
input
అడుగుతున్నారు కదా
controls. Okay, validation point of view.
SCJP
Then also we are using this client side scripts.
SCJP,
Next
OCJ.
one to execute
OCJP అయితే
logics
లేదు సార్
in
OCJ
browser.
ఉంది మనకైతే యూట్యూబ్ లో వచ్చేసి
So in
SCJP
browser you want
OCJ
to run
అయితే
any
కంప్లీట్
logics.
వీడియోస్
Then also we are taking the support of this client side scripts.
OCJ
Okay.
అది వీడియోలో
Next one.
యూట్యూబ్ లో ఉన్నాయి కదా సార్
To work with
అవునా అవి కంప్లీట్
Ajax.
వీడియోస్ అని తెలుసు నాకు అంటే
Ajax
మా దగ్గర అయితే
concept.
మళ్ళీ సపరేట్ వీడియోస్
What's that?
లేవు సార్ ఒకసారి చెప్పదమ్మా
One second.
అవును సార్ అవును సార్ ఓకే, అంటే మాకు తెలిసింది సార్ చెప్పింది కంప్లీట్గా ఉన్నాయని చెప్పి సో ఓకే నేను చేస్తాను ఇది మీ వాట్సాప్ నెంబరేనా ఓకే సార్
Ajax concept, to work with the Ajax concept. Then also we are taking the support of this client side scripts. So in Angular, HTTP client is one service. So this service support we are taking to work with Ajax. So we will discuss how to use the Ajax and how to call the API services using this Ajax. Those concepts I will discuss with you. So these are the main reasons why we are using this client-side scripts. Initially, programmers used to work with JavaScript, but these days, okay, many programmers they're using next level technologies of JavaScript like so Angular, React, etc. Okay. Now compared to the JavaScript, what are the advantages we have? That overview idea also I have given to you. Okay. So now if you come to this point, supports yes, data binding concept. Okay. So this Angular is supporting data binding concept. So advantage of data binding is we can bind data. Data means nothing but a variable with HTML control. Okay. We can bind a variable with HTML control. That is the concept of data binding. Now, once you bind a variable with HTML control, what the advantage? The updates of variable, okay, will affect on the HTML control without any logics. No need to write any logics. Direct those updates are affecting on the HTML control. For example, if you modify the value of variable, those modifications directly will apply on the HTML controls. That is the data binding concept. Okay. Suppose data binding. Next one, single page applications. Yes. So we can implement single page application. Means what is single page application? Without sending a request to the server, we can navigate. User can navigate to the next pages. Every time, no need to send the request to the server because all these templates initially loading into the client's cache memory location. So from there only client is navigating to the other pages. I told you we are spending around 1 week to 10 days with this single page application concept programs. That time only we are discussing how to work with this navigation and nested navigations. Okay, redirections from one page to another page, nested redirections and login concept, logout concept and router gods. Okay, these type of all concepts we are discussing in this program. Okay, it supports that single page application concepts. So next one provides many services. Yeah, services we are using in functional point of view. Just I told you to work with the agile concept. So HTTP client is one service available. Okay, like that here we have different types of services. These services we are using in functional point of view. Okay, so if we take JavaScript to work with agile concept, we need to write number of lines coding. But in this Angular, it is very simplified. So provides many services. Okay, and next one here supports many validation states. Yeah. So we want to perform the validations, form controls validations that time. So it is providing template driven forms and reactive forms. Okay, these type of forms we have. So by using these forms we can validate the input controls. Means we need not execute any logics in this point. Supports many validation states. Okay, next one here supports material design controls. Yeah. By default, this Angular is providing material design controls. So in Bootstrap, generally material design controls are available. For example, if you take Gmail, the Gmail text box, when you click on the text box, some text is moving up direction, right? So that is material design control. Like that, material design text box, material design button, radio buttons, different types of controls are available. So that support also directly it is providing for us. Is it clear? It is supporting that material design controls. Okay. Next one here supports design patterns. So this Angular is supporting design pattern, that is okay. So controller based design pattern. I will show you that one. So sorry, not controller, component based design pattern. So we are creating the components. What is component? I will discuss with you. Anyhow, these design patterns are useful for us to simplify the coding and for reusability. Okay, to simplify the coding as well as for reusability. In that point of view, we are taking the support of design patterns. Okay. Next one here provides a structure to implement. Yeah, here this Angular is framework. If you take React.js is library, Angular is framework. Okay, what the difference between library and framework? The library functionalities we can use as it is, but you want to enhance those functionalities, not possible. But framework functionalities we can use as well as we can enhance, means you can customize according to the requirement. Okay, yes. Yeah. So we can customize according to the requirement. That is one point. And second point is framework is providing one predefined structure for us to implement the logics. Okay. But if we take library we are using in another logic. Means if we take React is a library, so that we are using with JavaScript. Okay. Inside the JavaScript code we are using that React library functionalities. But Angular is the framework. Okay, this framework, inside the framework only we are directly writing the logics. Like that here, so these are the main advantages which we have seen. Supports data binding concept and single page application. Many services we have, many validation states we have, and it is supporting many filters. Okay, we can call them as pipes also yesterday I told you. So these filters support we have. Filters we are using to change the data from one format to another format. Okay. To change the data from one format to another format. For example, date conversions are there. Date format conversions. Then we are using filters. Or else, for example here, so one number is that we want to convert into rupees or dollars. Then we are taking the support of filters. Like that we have different types of filters. Okay, these filters support we are using here. Yes, So supports the filters are okay. Now I will explain you what are the types of clients we have and how to open these clients. All these things we will discuss. Like that, compared with JavaScript, we have many advantages in this Angular. So that's why in companies these days, so they are using this Angular to develop the client-side logics. Okay, for server-side logics, yesterday already I told you. So in companies they are using different technologies like PHP, ASP, JSP, like that. In client-side point of view, so generally JavaScript, but now the next level technologies of JavaScript like this Angular or React. These technologies they are using here. Okay, yes. So these are the basic points which we discussed, and this Angular, who implemented this Angular? So already I told you initially Visco Avery. Okay, so in 2010 he released the basic version, that is 1.0. One of the employees of Google Corporation, okay, and he implemented this Angular in the year 2010. And what the version of this 1.0? Is it clear? Yes. So later they added more features and released the other versions like 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, like that. Okay, in 2016, the year 2016, so 2.0 is released, and 1.0 or 1.1, 1.x series we are calling as AngularJS. They used JavaScript to develop the packages. From 2.x series onward, they used TypeScript. So that's why simply we are calling it as Angular. Okay. So that's why Angular is released in 2000 and AngularJS. Yeah. So Angular is released in 2016. That version is 2.0, and AngularJS released in 2010. That is 1.x series. That is the concept. Is it clear? Fine. Now these are the points which we discussed. Which organization is maintaining this Angular? Okay, Google Corporation. It belongs to Google. Okay, yes. So this is the basic overview idea I have given again. And now we are discussing why they use a TypeScript in this version 2.0. That is very important in interview point of view. So simply they are asking, in AngularJS they use JavaScript, in Angular they use TypeScript. What are the reasons behind that? Okay, so that point we are going to discuss. Before that, you have any doubts, you can ask.
7 p.m. to late.
Abhijit, Hanuman, yes. Shobha, Vinay. Any queries, any questions?
What is the difference between client side and the server side scripting languages?
Client side scripting, server side scripting. For example, if you take Facebook example, okay, Facebook homepage. That Facebook homepage, both client side script and server side script is available. So now if I type in my system, okay, for example, open this www.facebook. Now my request is sent to the server and lazy display. No? So means some data is downloaded. So that information is placed. So in this point now, the original client side script of this page is downloaded into my system. Means HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React script, everything is downloaded into my system, and in my system it is executed. That's why if I right click and select new page source, now you can see my script is downloaded. Means client side script is downloading into the client system and it is executing in this client system. So in the same Facebook, server side script is there. That server side script PHP they use it here in this Facebook. Okay, so that's why here if I type /index.php, so same page it displays here. Okay, So because Facebook server-side script is PHP. Okay, in case if I use JSP here, then it displays some page like this. Okay, something like that. So this is not a valid page actually. Then login is changed like this. The Facebook server-side script is .php. And here also you can see that file extensions
Python data
PHP and .php. So here you can see the file names. So this server-side script, the code is not downloading into the client system. Okay, that code is running in the web server. Only result is coming. So if you observe this area, login form. Yeah, I will tell you one scenario for you. Yes. So now if you take login as one use case, what the phases you want to work with that login concept. So how many phases we have in this login concept? How many steps to finish this login? First we need to design login form. Second one, validate. Okay, controls. Third one, okay, send. Controls means what are the controls? Username, password, data to server. Okay. Fourth, take username, password or email ID, password. Okay, some websites they are using username, some websites they are using email ID. So valid or invalid. You need to check that. Okay. Next one here, redirect to either welcome page or valid user. These are the main steps which we have in this concept. Okay. Login concept, if you observe here, okay, first we need to design the login page. After that we need to validate the controls. Okay. Next one, send controls data to server. And next one, username, password, valid or invalid, and redirect to welcome page. These are the general steps which we have. Now here, see in this page, this is login page. So you want to design this page. Actually, we are taking the support of HTML, CSS. Okay, these technologies. Okay, to place the controls here, HTML, to apply the borders and this button background color, everything we are using CSS. This technology we are using. So that is UA designer. Okay, UA designer is working on that. And validations point of view, when I click on this login button here, so we are getting these error messages. Okay, something like this error messages we are getting here with this some symbol like that. Okay, so in this point of we are taking the support of client side script.
Would you like to purchase that? Not a Mahasal.
What the client side script we are using now? Angular here. Okay. So means in browser only, browser itself we can check this text box is empty or not, and this text box is empty or not. This type information we can see in this browser only. So we are validating in this browser. For that, no need to go to the server. Actually, some websites validating in server also, but most of the websites they are validating where in browser only. So here only they are checking this text box is empty or not. Or password text box is empty or not. These type validations. For example, if I enter here ABCD, okay. So then is it valid email ID? It is not a valid email ID. The format is not valid email ID. So this type of validations we are performing client system. So client side script is executing in client system with the help of browser. So in that point of in old days JavaScript used to work, but these days Angular we are using. Next one, sending data to server. Okay, so how can I send the data to server? So now we are using the mechanism Ajax. There are two ways we have. One is submit by using form submit button. So we can means insert the form with the help of submit button. We can send the
డబ్బులు
data.
కట్టేనే
Data
అనుకో.
means
That's
nothing
why
but
payment request
this text
కి
box values, right?
కింద ఇందాక
So we are
నీకు
sending the
తీసుకొచ్చిన
data to the
డబ్బులు
server.
కట్టేనే అనుకున్నా.
But
ఎక్కడ కనిపించింది?
here submit
ఒకటి
concept
processing లో
these
పడ్డది, అది
days we are
మర్చిపోయినా.
not
ఒకటి ఇది.
using the
ఇన్ని డబ్బులు
submit
ఎట్లా కట్టేనే
concept.
అనుకున్నా.
Mostly we are working
ఇది
with
ఇంకా రాలేదా
Ajax
డబ్బులు?
to send the data because Ajax if I use
ఏంటిది?
only this text box values I can send.
986 క్రెడిట్
In
అయిందా?
case if it is submit concept, entire page is loading into the server. Means it increases the burden on the network traffic. That's why, so these days we reduce the usage of the submit concept. We reduce the usage of submit concept. Instead that we are using Ajax. So you want to work with this Ajax, compulsory we need to use
ఎన్ని డబ్బులు ఎక్కడ
client
ఉన్నాయి?
side
అసలు
scripts.
1000 రూపాయలు
So what is the
దగ్గర.
client side script we are using here? Angular we are using here. So once you send this username, password or email address or password to server, there connect with the database and check that username password is registered in the database or not. In that point of view, so we are connecting with the server. We are connecting with the server database. So in this point of view, client side script is not useful for us. We are taking the support of server side scripts. Okay. So client side scripts are executing client system. Server side scripts are executing in web server, and database is presented, website database is presented in server machine. So that's why in order to connect with the database, compulsory we need to use server side scripts. Then server side programmer is creating the API services to check that username password is valid or invalid. In that point of view, so ASP technology or PHP or JSP servlets or Node.js, like that we have different types of server side scripts in this step. Okay, now that server side programmer is creating API services. That API services he is receiving the data which we are passing from browser, and that data he is checking with the database whether valid or invalid. If it is valid, he is passing one value. Okay, if it is invalid, failure value he is passing. Based on that value, again we need to send that user from this login page to same error page or welcome page, right? So in that point of view, we are using the client side script for navigation. I told you, a single page application, nothing but routing concept we are using to navigate from login page to welcome page. Like that here, see, if you take the simple login concept, so in this validations and sending data to server to Ajax and redirection, in these 3 point of views, we are taking the support of client side scripts. Is this clear? Yes. And here designing point of view, we are using HTML CSS. It is not coding, it is static content for the designing purpose. And the dynamic functionalities, we need to write the logics. Those logics, 2 types we have. One is client side logic, another one is server side logics. Client side logics are executing where? In browser. Server side logics are executing in server. So for example, I want to display the data in the tabular format. Okay, so from database I'm fetching data and I'm displaying the tabular format, so row wise, and for every row in last I want to put delete button and update button. Yes, when user click on this update button, I want to display the text boxes to update the data inside that row. In that point of we are using client side script. Okay, like that, what are the operations we are performing on the browser? In every point of a client side script is required. Okay, that client side script is required. That is the main concept of this. So in this scenario, so we can use JavaScript, we can use, but JavaScript problem is coding point of huge coding it requires, and not supporting the concepts like single page application, data binding, like that. These concepts not supporting. So that's why we are working with this Angular or other next level technologies. Is this clear? Yes. So here I told you TypeScript is required to learn this Angular, and the TypeScript you need not learn anywhere. Here only I am discussing the TypeScript. Once we clear with the TypeScript, then only I will start the Angular concepts. Yes, initial some days we are spending with TypeScript. So without knowledge on the TypeScript, you cannot understand anything in this Angular. So that's why first I'm discussing the TypeScript. After that only I am starting the Angular concepts. Okay, yes. Any more doubts, Abhijit and Vardhan, Hanumant? Yeah, you can ask me, have any more questions. So where client-side script is executing, in which location?
ఈవినింగ్ వెళ్తే లేట్ అవుతుందని
Client system browser.
Yeah, every browser contains interpreters to run this client-side script. Okay, so when the page is downloading from server, original client-side script also downloading here, and it is executing in the client system. Is it clear? So yesterday I told you one example. So calculator program you want to implement, right? Yes. So in that calculator program, user will enter some numbers, and when he click on the plus button or minus button, so then we need to display the result of those numbers. So in this point of view, this calculator program we can implement by using either client-side script or server-side script. Yes? Yeah. If I implement using client-side script, then for every operation the code is executing where? For every operation where that code is executing, client system or server machine. If I use client-side script, so if for
Client.
plus button or minus button, where that code is executing, where it is running,
In client system.
Client system.
client
also.
system. If I use PHP or JSP servlets or any that ASP, then where it is executing?
Server side
Server
system.
machine. So which one is taking much time?
Server side
Yeah,
machine.
because when user click on the plus button or minus button in his system, means user means nothing but client. Okay, here client. So don't think client is the person who is paying money for developing the project. Don't think like that. In our point of view, client means who is using our application. That person we are calling as client. Is it clear? So when user or client click on the plus button, so if it is Angular code or any other client-side script code, so it is executing in his system only. That's why you can see the result immediately. In case if it is server-side script, the logic is implemented with server-side script. He has to go to the server, and for that it is taking some time. It is depending upon the network traffic and internet connection. So that's why user will get some delay to see the result.
ఏమంటున్నాడు అమ్మాయి
So that's why
విషయంలో
most of the logics we are implementing with client-side scripts.
ఏదో అమ్మాయిల విషయంలో ఏడిపిస్తున్నాడంటే కదా అది.
What we can't handle with client-side script. So as I told you now, okay, already I told you, database, you want to connect with the database or server, okay, so compulsory server-side script is required. In this point of view, client-side script is not giving support.
ఏ
Got it? And sessions you want to create compulsory server-side script.
అదే
And tokens you want to
ఎందుకంటే
create
పొద్దుపోక
then server-side
పొద్దుపోక
script. So in that point
ఏ
of
విషయంలో
view,
ఏడిపిస్తున్నాడు అంటే రెండు మీద వెళ్ళి అమ్మాయిల విషయంలో
server-side
ఏడిపిస్తున్నాడు.
scripts, we means server-side
Yeah.
programmers are involved there, and remaining all
రెగ్యులర్ ఈవెన్
concepts implemented with client-side script. That is your
Implementation కూడా
responsibility as UA developer. Is it clear?
ఏం తెలియదు ఇక్కడ నేను మాట్లాడు అమ్మాయిలతో
So,
మాట్లాడుతున్నది
any more queries? Actually, here, if you take the different designations here,
ఇట్లాంటి చేసేవి
UA
చేసేవి
designer. Yeah, UA designer means who is working with these designing forms. Okay, so who is creating user interfaces. That person we are calling as UA designer. What the technologies he is using? HTML, CSS. These are the technologies, right? Next one here, UA developer.
చెప్పు అంటే ఏం లేదు నువ్వు చెప్పు అంటాడు.
Yeah, who is working with these front-end technologies like Angular, React, Vue.js, okay, and Vanilla.js, Backbone.js, like that. This person means who is writing the front-end coding. That person we are calling as Vue developer.
ఊరికే నేనే రాను.
Okay. Next one here, server-side programmer. Who is implementing the server-side logics by using
రేపు వచ్చేవా?
ASP,
Actually రేపు
ASP,
వచ్చేవారు.
PHP,
నేను
okay,
రాను
Node,
ఇంకా మమ్మీ వాళ్ళు
like
ఇళ్ళ
that.
మీద
This
రమ్మన్నారు.
person we are calling as server-side programmer. Next one here, full stack programmer. Who is full stack programmer? Who is working with both UA development as well as server-side coding. Yes, UA developer plus server-side coding. including database like Oracle or SQL or etc. We are calling as full stack program. Means full stack program is working both these two sides, okay, front end as well as back end, okay. And we have the next step, that is mean stack. So mean stack programmer is same as full stack programmer only, okay. So mean stack programmer, so in which areas full stack programmer working, so in the same areas mean stack programmer also working, but programming stack is different. Full stack front end, we can use any technology like Angular, React, or Vanilla JS like that. And server side coding, Java, .NET, PHP, anything. And database, SQL Server, Oracle, MySQL, anything. But when you are coming to the mean stack, it is specific stack. Okay. So specific stack means collection of technologies. So MongoDB, Express, JS, Angular, and Node. This combination. Okay. So it is full stack development only. But what the programming stack we are using here, technologies MongoDB, that is for database, and Express.js, that is the framework of Node.js, and Angular, that is for front end, and Node, this is for back end. So this combination also is available. It is also having much demand in this software industries. But right now you will become as UA developer. Once you have good experience with this UA development, after that you can go with that mean stack development also. Okay, to extend your so professional career, then you can go with that the mean stack development also. Okay, so these are the different types of roles. And I told you AngularJS. AngularJS is implemented using what is the technology? JavaScript. And Angular package is implemented by using TypeScript. Now, what are the differences between JavaScript and TypeScript? Why they used it? Why they changed the technology to develop the packages of Angular? Means any more advantages we have in TypeScript compared with JavaScript? Yes, definitely. What are these advantages we discuss? Okay. So this is one common interview question. So what are the differences between JavaScript and TypeScript they're asking? So those points we are going to discuss now. After that, I will discuss the differences between AngularJS and Angular. Okay. After that, I will start the concepts of TypeScript. Is it clear? Yes. Okay. Now here the thing is, what are the differences between the JavaScript and TypeScript we are going to discuss now. Now, so now here, if you take JavaScript, JavaScript is loosely typed script. But if you take TypeScript, TypeScript is it is typeset. Yeah. So what is loosely typed script and what is TypeScript? That I will discuss with you. Yes. Before that, you have any more doubts in your mind, you can clear those things. Any more queries? Mona? Yeah. So in JavaScript, at the time of variable declaration, we are unable to provide the data types like number, string, boolean. These type of data types not possible to provide. Is it clear? Yes. Simply we are declaring the variable like where serial number is equal to 100 like that. So this is the name of variable and this is value. We are not providing any data type. And don't feel where is data type. Where is nothing but the scope of variable. So from where we can access that scope, we can decide by using where. It is not data type. Data types are nothing but number, string, boolean, like that. These are data types. Okay. So if you take JavaScript, JavaScript is not supporting any data types, and TypeScript is supporting data types. Okay, that is type same. So here JavaScript is loosely typed script, I told you. So means we can store 100 here. Now in next line I can store that spot. Because this serial number is not restricted with any specific data, that's why we can change any type of value into this variable. So it causes some memory leak sometimes. That is the main issue. But in TypeScript, you are providing a specific data type, means we are allocating the exact memory to the variable. So that's why there is no chance to get the memory leaks. So that is very type safe for us. That is the main advantage of TypeScript. Okay, so TypeScript is supporting different types of data types like number, string, boolean. Like that, we have different types of data types here. I will explain those concepts later. So this is the first difference between JavaScript and TypeScript. So this point is clear. So any questions you want to ask in this point, you can ask me. Yes. So what is loosely typed script? What the meaning of loosely typed? Tell me, Ramesh. Shobha.
We does not have any data type.
Yeah, any data types. We are not restricting a variable with a specific data type. That's why that variable value, anything we can pass. Sometimes if the bytes are changing, there is chance to get the memory leaks. So that's why here in TypeScript specifically they use the data types here. They introduce the data types. So because of this data types, that's restricted value only we can store in that variable. Okay, not any kind of value. That is the main. Okay, next one here. JavaScript is interpreted. Okay, and TypeScript is compiler script. Yeah, what is the difference between interpreter and compiler? For example, you are implementing one program, it contains 10 lines or 20 lines like that. Now you are running that program, you are executing that program. If it is interpreted script, then what is happening? Line by line it is executed. Yes, it is executing line by line. If there is any error in the specific line, it stops the execution there. It stops the execution there. That is the concept now. Okay, and for example, I have 10 lines code, and I got error in line number 3. Okay, then interpreter script is showing that error. It will not check for the next lines. Once you rectify this error and re-execute, then only it is going for the next line checking. Is it clear? Means as a programmer, you cannot see all errors at a time if it is interpreted. But compiler is not like that. It will run, execute, it will check all lines of the script and displays all errors in single shot. So we can rectify all these errors at a time. Okay, that is the main advantage. And moreover, so interpreted script is a little bit slower than compilers. Okay, so that is the main advantage. So TypeScript is compiler script. So we can see the all errors at a time, and it is faster also. Is it clear? Next one. So JavaScript is not supporting all OOPS concepts. TypeScript supports complete OOPS concepts. That is one more advantage. In JavaScript, classes we can create, inheritance we can use, but you want to work with this, so polymorphism, okay, or overloading. So these type of concepts are not possible. Namespaces you want to get, these are not possible because it is not supporting the data types. So many OOPS concepts are not available in JavaScript. But if you take TypeScript, TypeScript supports any type of object-oriented programming concepts. That is the main point of this. Is it clear? It is supporting more OOPS concepts. Okay. Next one here. JavaScript is not good to display errors, and TypeScript displays any type of in errors point of view. JavaScript is not that much friendly to display the errors. And sometimes we are missing the meanings also. Okay, it is not providing the specific reason why this error is getting like that. This type of issue is there in the JavaScript. But TypeScript, if you take here, in this point of view, the errors display point of it is very clear. One simple example I will show you, okay, then you will get some clarity in this point of view. I am creating one program. I open the edit place. This program, just I want to use script open tag, script closing tag. So in the script open and closing tags, just I want to use like, yeah, one function I'm creating. Simple example only can easily understand. Function fn1. So in this function, alert we are using to display the message box. So hi message I have given. Now I am calling this function. So this demo.html, this function I am displaying hi message. So let me run this demo.html. Yes. So display the hi message like that. Okay. Yeah. So now if I call function to, yeah, it is not available. It is not available. That's why we are not getting